I'm here with Kristin Gambaccini from Perfectly De-Stressed. And Kristin, you are well known for basically making use of everything that you have at home to make fabulous things, because I believe you have 8 children, and you were saying that you need to just absolutely make sure every corner of your house works.
It does. It has to be functional, and I like using stuff I already have anyway, just not even just for the financial aspect of it, but it you know, versus going to the store and buying new everything. It makes you feel good to know that you're kind of like repurposing things. Plus, it adds a little bit of a personal touch.
I think that's too. I think making anything makes it really personal. So we're going to make this amazing map, which actually is not just decorative. It's useful.
It is useful, and again, it brings in that personal touch. It's going to hold the memories of the places you've been with the dates you've been there. For my kids, it's almost like something that they can look and trail with their fingers and see how far we've gone as a family on our trips.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So how are we going to get started?
So you want to start with a piece of corkboard, and you can use regular corkboard, traditional corkboard, or you can use a cork foam board, which is even lighter than corkboard. But that's what I love about this project, is either way you go, it's lightweight, which is really important for hanging on the wall, especially if you have kids that throw balls in the house.
Because you're going to say you have 5 boys, I bet there's a lot of ball throwing going on.
There is a lot of ball throwing. So this is something that if it does get knocked over, you don't have to worry about.
You're totally fine.
Yes, it's good. But you just want to keep in mind, you want to make sure that your map size is the same as your corkboard size. We're going to be working with a 24 by 36 map, which is a pretty traditional size map.
Yeah.
Now, to start off, what you would normally do is to use a spray adhesive that's good for cork. You want to make sure it says that you can use it on cork. And you want to spray adhesive your map on. And the trick to that would be a little bit at a time.
Okay, so you blew my mind, because I was totally assuming that you sprayed the whole map and then just kind of brought it over like a sticker, and immediately I was like, no, don't do that.
Right, no, that's not a good idea. It'll get tacky, it'll dry quick, and then parts of your map on the inside as you're unrolling it will stick to the cork. So abort mission, don't do that. But because we're not outside in a well-ventilated area, to temporarily hold the map in place, I'm gonna use push pins.
Great. So this is like every crafter's thing. There's always a solution to any problem. Can I pass you the pins?
Yes,
it looks like they're a little bit of a reach for you. Let me walk those on over here to you.
Yes. You know what, and I think that's one of the things I love making too. Now, when I do my push pins, I'm going to make sure that I'm keeping in mind that we are going to frame this out, just so.
And by the way, that's one of the finishing touch kind of things that I think elevates this project from a basic DIY into something really special, which is, I think, something that many of your projects have. They have that little extra step of finishing, and I think it's like when, as for me, when I organize something, I basically take everything out of my cabinets and then I don't quite put it all back. And I think like that's where the struggle is. And so the same is true with DIY projects. You really, really want to make sure you finish that last little 10%.
You do. And also, change it. If your heart's leading you in a different direction and you're thinking, you know what, I like that, but I'm gonna do something a little different, do it. Because this is your DIY. So that's what I love about it, is you don't have to follow it exactly. So we've got it attached here with our pins. And again, this is just a temporary thing. Typically, this would be sprayed on and we'd be able to kind of walk away from it. We are going to build our frame now, and we're working with 24 by 36, so I have my wood pieces here that are cut 22 by 36, because I'm just doing a very simple box frame. I'm going to stain it with a pine wood stain, because I really wanted this to look natural. I'm all about right now things looking very natural, wood colored. But this is going to help
wanting that outdoors, inside kind of thing.
I think so too. And this is, I almost just did this. So I am notorious for a one-hand glove. And then I end up getting it everywhere. So I'm going to do it right. So I have a wood cloth. I very rarely use brushes when I do stain. I prefer to wipe my stain on.
Oh my gosh, it's so much faster too.
It is faster, you get a better coat, and it dries quicker.
I see what you're saying about this looking very natural. It almost looks like a clear coat.
It does, and it pulls out that wood, all of like your, I'm at a loss
your
for
grain.
Help me, the grain. Thank you.
Beautiful.
It pulls out that grain, and that's what I like about it. We would do a clear coat on this, just to seal it in.
Okay.
And you can, it doesn't have to be glossy. If you want it to look real natural, it can be something matte or satin, whatever clear coat you prefer. Once you have your stain on and it's dried, which is pretty fast, because we're not putting a lot on.
Okay.
We are going to staple it onto our board.
You've spoken the magic word. Stapling is something I can do.
This is so easy. It's so easy. So we've got our pieces here. And again, I made this frame so that it was a very simple setup. I'm gonna use a brad nailer because I just don't wanna see a full staple.
Okay.
I wanna see something a little bit
And that's
smaller.
also because you have a brad nailer. If somebody
Right.
did use a staple gun, a traditional staple gun or something like that, you could always find a creative way to cover it up, you know, in some way. I always feel like the crafter's motto is, I will find a way to make it work.
You always find a way to make it work. And actually, I wanted to show you, so I didn't push this one in on purpose because I wanted to just point out that if you're nervous about using this and you don't apply enough pressure, it's so easy to fix because you would just have to hammer this down and you would never know that it didn't go in all the way. So you would continue stapling your frame into your corkboard all the way around. And now I'm gonna show you how to make the push pins. And this is what really pulls that personal touch in. These are 1-inch wood circles that you can find at any craft store and some wood push pins at any like home improvement or even office store. I'm using a wood burner with numbers on it. And obviously because of the numbers and the size of this, I can only do the last 2 numbers of your year. So for this one, I'm gonna start with the 2, since that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, be sure to work on a mat and stuff. I always think when you're working with things like wood burning, because you want to be careful about your table and surfaces.
Right. And also, you want to make sure that you remember that this is hot, and there's a certain direction for your numbers when you're pressing down. And the best thing about when you use these wood stamps is just a couple seconds is all you need to get your numbers in there. You would take your wood push pin, you want to hot glue your numbers, which I actually have one finished here, onto the top, and now you have your dates.
Which you can put right into your map, and if we, you know, look at the finished map, I can see that you did a lot of travel in 2019.
We did, we did. It was a lot of family time.
Which is awesome, but I love this way of just visually commemorating. This has been so easy, so quick, what a fun idea, and certainly I have a little son at home, maybe I should make a map of my own.
Absolutely.